Hi everyone, and welcome to your Alaska Weather Show. Starting out, first of all, our hearts go out to the folks that were impacted by the devastating flood that they just had in Juneau. More than 100 homes were damaged, and the count still goes on. There's a lot of support coming in from around the state, and we thank you for that. And the governor has declared a disaster area for the Mendenhall Valley. So again, our hearts go out to all of those folks over there in Juneau that are impacted by this glacier dam outburst flood. So looking at our hazardous weather, we have a flood warning for Seward, a flood advisory for the lower Squintno River, a flood watch for western Prince William Sound, red flag warning for Tok, Delta Junction, and the eastern slopes of the Alaska Range. We also have a special weather statement for high streams still on the Seward Peninsula. A marine weather statement has been issued for all the debris from the flood that have come out into the salt water around Juneau. And then we also have looking at some heavy rain coming into southwestern Alaska this coming weekend. So let's take a look at the message from our friends at the Alaska Interagency Coordination Center. Red flag warning today for southeast interior for hot, dry, and windy conditions. Please, if you live anywhere in the Tok or Delta Junction area, or you're traveling along the Alcan, please do everything you can to prevent causing a spark. Conditions are really ready to go there. Temperatures across the eastern interior and southeast panhandle will cool back to normal at the end of this week, and as some areas of rain move in. So looking at the fire fuels that are out there right now, you can see those eastern slopes of the Alaska Range are really extremely dry, and we have some pretty high readings up in the Yukon Flats as well, and all of that will be retreating to the east. And then also for our spruce, same thing goes, eastern slopes of the Alaska Range and the Yukon Flats. Also notice a little bit of color down there in the southern panhandle as well. Again, that's all coming to an end, but it's going to take some time. So here's our satellite image showing this stream of moisture coming over mainland Alaska. It's been really persistent. It's what we call an atmospheric river, and it's really been pushing a lot of moisture all across the state, right on up to the North Slope. So for today's weather, pretty dramatic. A satellite image invisible underneath this graphic that we have here. You can see an outline of the Alaska Range, the Brooks Range, and even some of the higher peaks in the Chugach, where there is downslope immediately behind the mountain ranges from the southerly flow aloft. But then again, you also have all that streaming moisture and plenty of lenticular clouds on the leeward side of those slopes. And then we have 1,008 millibar low that's over in Bristol Bay, and that's weakening pretty well. So is that occluded front that stretches out into the Gulf of Alaska. A couple of troughs extending from 1,004 millibar lows, one near the Bering Strait, the other one up in the Chukchi Sea. And then for tonight, you can see that front falling apart, and those low pressure systems start to consolidate there just southwest of the Seward Peninsula. Also that 5 millibar low persists over the North Slope. Got a couple of troughs associated with that. And then we have, you can see in the far west there, the beginnings of the first part of that next system that's going to be coming in this weekend. For Thursday, the low consolidates again to 1,005 millibars, now up over the Brooks Range. 1,002 millibars on the east side of the Alcan. That's due to thermal heating with all the sunshine and warm temperatures that they've had over there. And that's connected to a 1,015 millibar low in the southern Gulf of Alaska that really is not too much of a factor. You can also see that some frozen precipitation is predicted out into the Chukchi Sea, and also for our very highest elevations in south central Alaska and on up to Denali. And there's the first part of the gale force low that's coming into the Bering Sea, 1,003 millibars over there in the Bering Sea with a full occluded front around that. And then by Friday, that all consolidates into a 991 millibar gale force low. Plenty of tropical moisture out there. I was talking to some forecasters out in Anchorage a little bit ago and tracked this moisture all the way from a couple of tropical systems down in eastern Asia. The winds are not too bad with this system, but certainly there's going to be a lot of potential for heavy rain, particularly in southwestern Alaska as this system moves up. But you see all that green all across the mainland portion of the state, and now starting to extend into the panhandle as well, and that is due to southwest flow aloft, which is our famous pattern here for precipitation all across the state. So looking at our temperatures, a lot of readings in the 40s in western Alaska, and then our lows on Thursday morning in the 50s as you get further east, and almost the 60 in a couple of spots there in the panhandle. But by Thursday afternoon, still one or two temperatures hovering in the 80s right along the Alcan, and then up into the 60s along the north slope. Look at all those 70-degree readings expected there for Thursday afternoon in the panhandle. However, that's going to be pretty short-lived. A lot of 60s across the mainland portion of the state and 50s, and even if you get out into St. Lawrence Island there, 45 high temperature of 45 degrees where all the cool air is. And then for Friday morning, that cooler air is making its way further eastward. Lots of readings all across the state in the 40s, except for in the 50s right along the Alcan border and also for southeast Alaska. And then for Friday afternoon, you can see temperatures still in the 70s for the panhandle, as they're still getting a little sunshine. 60s along the Alcan border, but lots of 50s and 40-degree readings all across the rest of the state. So for our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, we see a good chance of cooler than normal in southwestern Alaska, whereas the eastern part of the north slope, some chance of it being above normal temperature, also below normal temperatures all the way down into the panhandle. And then for precipitation, with a trough that's going to be over northeastern Russia and down into the Bering Sea, better than normal, better than almost likely chance that we're going to have above normal precipitation in the western half of the state, and a pretty good chance that they're going to be right up to almost to the Alcan, where as the very far eastern portion of the mainland and the panhandle are going to be around normal precipitation. And then for 8 to 14 days, August 15th through the 21st, again, below normal precipitation temperature. We've got a real good chance of that in southwestern Alaska. That tapers off to a slight chance of above normal temperature in the northeastern section, but otherwise it looks like a cool second week in August there and into the third week. And then finally, the precipitation for that same time period, August 15th to the 21st, really looks like a pretty good chance of a wet, soggy mainland in Alaska and about normal precipitation for the panhandle. So that's it for your Alaska weather. Please stay safe out there.